Hello. Today we get to foam roll. Oh my goodness, foam rolling. So, just some people love to hate it. Some people love to love it, but they hate it while they're doing it. And some people just love it. So, let's see what kind of person you are. If you don't have a foam roller, please go get one. They're on Amazon. They're 20 bucks, 13 bucks. Recommend getting one that's longer because you can also utilize it for upper body foam rolling and stretching. Today, we're just going to focus on lower body foam rolling only. If you don't have a foam roller, today you could get by with like an Algene bottle, maybe even a can of soup, something that's hard and cylindrical. If you have a foam roller that has knobbies on it, that's totally fine. It hurts a little bit more, but it's still effective and still does the job. So if you're new to foam rolling, then I want you to listen while we do this. So go grab an Algene bottle, a can of soup, your foam roller, whatever you have, because it's important to do this. Even if you don't like it, it's really important to do it. So we're going to start with your calves. Now you can um, if you've had like a hip replacement, or I would say probably a knee replacement, and it's hard to get out on the floor, then massage guns would be better, like getting a massage gun. There's also vibration plates that you can stand on to help with the lymphatic system. But if you can do a foam roller, highly recommend that. There's a reason why professional athletes use these things because they're good for you. Okay. If they do it, you know it's good for us. We're going to start with your calves. So you can do one of two things. And by the way, if you have carpal tunnel and it hurts to like put your wrist flat, it's okay to go on your fists, or if you want to have some dumbbells to hold on to keep that wrist in a neutral alignment, try that and see if that works. Okay. So what we're going to do is start with the calf. What you're looking for are knots. Now you can, if you have lots of knots and you don't need help finding knots, just having your feet relaxed on the foam roller, totally fine. If you put your both of your feet here and you don't feel anything, then cross your right ankle or your left leg over your right so that you add the weight of your top leg, and that will help you find knots. It's amazing. So what we're trying to do is give yourself a massage. Like if you were to go and get a deep tissue massage, that's what you're doing right now. But you're doing it to yourself. When you find a knot, you're going to be like, oh, that really doesn't feel good. Yeah, that's a knot. And what we want to do is try to massage that out. So you have a myofascial layer in your muscle. And normally your muscles work like this, right? They go back and forth and it's supposed to be nice and smooth. Well, there's knots that are created when we walk, we move in the same movement patterns, when we lift heavy, do something different, we create soreness. So there's knots that are created. So instead of your muscles working like this, there's a knot and then it starts rubbing and it doesn't allow the muscle to move like it's supposed to. And it causes a lot of movement inhibits our movements. So once you find a knot, just hang out there. Just let it sit. Try to melt that knot away because we're trying to get those muscles back to a normal movement pattern. Okay. So if internally rotate, we're going to do that whole calf. So from the outside to the inside of the calf. So um, we're going to start at the ankle, move up just to below the knee. We never roll on a joint. So it's only the muscles that we're rolling on. If you are trying to find a knot and you're not finding one, then just move your leg a little bit and I'm sure you'll find one. And if you don't have any knots, Please let me know what you do because I have lots of knots and I want to know how you don't have any knots. Oh my goodness. So you can either, so once you're like, okay, and just hang out on a knot 10 to 30 seconds. Um, you don't really want to hang out super long unless it just feels really good and you can do that. But you should feel like the knot kind of melting away or tense, like the tension releasing a little bit. The more consistently you do this, the less knots you're going to have and the better your muscles are going to feel. So the first couple times you're like, wow, I think I'm just one big knot ball. Yeah, that's how I feel. Uh, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, I promise. So if once you're like, okay, I think I'm good, then you can either lift and roll your leg a little higher on the foam roller, or you can use that other leg to help move the foam roller a little bit higher up that calf. So this is good for you. I promise. Even though it doesn't feel good, it's really good for you. The other reason, oh, and I want also, please drink a lot of water today. What you're doing is releasing, there's toxins that can build up in those knots, right? So you want to flush those toxins out. So please make sure you're drinking enough water, which leads me to ask, how do you know if you're drinking enough water? Hmm, great question. So glad you asked. Okay. Oh man, that's so good, right? Finding all those nuts. Woo, Nelly. So, by the way, I'm jumping all over the place. Sorry, but if you have plantar fasciitis, this is a great way to help relieve some of that pain in the bottom of your foot. Is just your calf roll right here. Okay, so let's go back to water. How do you know if you're drinking enough water? Well, your urine should be clear. If it's dark yellow, watch out. Please, you got to start pounding water. If it's light yellow, still you're a little bit dehydrated. So you want it to be clear. And it needs to be water, please. Soda doesn't count, which I hope you're not drinking soda. Let's keep moving. Once you feel those knots release or you've been there 10 to 30 seconds, just go ahead and find another knot. Hopefully we're getting somewhat close to the knee on that first leg. And if you're not finding any knots, go ahead and fast forward through the video, and we're going to move to another muscle group soon. But most likely, because our calves do so much work for us, you're finding a lot of knots right now. So yeah, everybody knows water is essential. I know not everybody is super excited about drinking water. Have you tried putting lemon in your water? Have you tried putting like a slice of orange or lime or oh, wow. Sorry, I found a really good knot. Oh boy, it's so good. Maybe cucumbers and mint. Try something to help you get some water in because water is crucial. And if you're like, I just need to know how much, and I'm better at just knowing the quantity I need to drink. What what you would do is take half of your body weight. So if you weigh 130 pounds, then you would need to drink at least 70 ounces of water a day. So half of your body weight in ounces of water. All right, so what we're going to do, if you're not quite done with that leg, it's okay. You can pause the video and keep going until you've made it to the bottom of your knee because we're going to switch to that second leg now. So I'm going to cross that other leg over the top, and I want you to remember we're doing like the whole soleus. So the whole thing outside and middle. We're not just sticking down the middle. We're doing that whole calf. So the soleus and the gastroc. Um, so yeah, 50% of your body weight in ounces of water every day is the recommendation. So it's not necessarily based on just eight ounces of water. That used to be the recommendation, but now it's changed to 50% of your body weight in ounces of water at a minimum, up to 75%. And if you're trying to lose weight, the recommendation is 75%. And I'm pretty sure, wow, I found a good knot. I'm the reason that 75% is there is because they want you to fill up more on water than on food. Right? The more water you have, the less room, the less you'll want to eat. That's my guess of the recommendation. So there you go. Drink water, especially after foam rolling. All right. So the what I do want to tell you too is if you Google foam rolling and or YouTube and look on YouTube for foam rolling, there's a lot out there and it's good. Foam rolling is good. What you may notice is that they'll recommend, okay, now when you find a knot, just roll over it. The science has changed on that. And what they say is just hold on the knot now. So science says by vigorously rolling over the knot, you're actually going to make the knot bigger because the body wants to protect it. It feels like a threat. But if you're just sitting on the knot, there's not a threat. It's realizing, okay, I need to release this. So just sit on your knot, let it melt away. You might need, if you find a really big knot, you might need to come back and do this again. 2, 3 times a week is great if you have the time and your body, you feel like your body needs it. You can also do this with a massage gun if that's more comfortable. But please relax the muscle that you're rolling. If the if you're trying to flex your foot while you're foam rolling, then you won't feel any knots or it'll be very minimal. So relax that muscle that you're foam rolling. Okay. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but I have some tight calves. It's amazing. Okay. Okay, pop quiz. How many ounces of water are you supposed to drink a day? Yeah, yeah. Good job. Oh man. Sorry. That's a very big knot. I promise, guys. So here's a story for you to so you know how effective this is. I had some heel pain because I didn't train enough before doing a half marathon, and I thought, I'm strong enough, I can do it. Well, the next day my heels were hurting. Even 2 months later, they were still hurting. But every time I foam roll, that heel pain goes away. So, and it's slowly getting better. It's just about consistency. So hopefully we're about halfway to almost to the base of the knee on that second leg. Your shoulders are probably getting a little tired from leaning back. So let's do another minute here. And then we will switch to inner thighs. And that's a good one. Whew, believe you me. So the more mobility you can get, especially through your calves, because the more balance you're going to have, and the stronger your base will be. Because the base, if you think of your feet as a foundation, like you have a house and you have a foundation, your feet are the foundation of your house. They hold you up. The the better your foundation, the better your body's going to be able to move. So that's why it's really important to keep the knots out and stretches. Okay, let's go to your inner thighs. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your right inner thigh on the foam roller. Okay, so you're going to be laying on elbows on your elbows, and you're just letting your right leg relax. So hopefully this doesn't hurt your lower back. If it does, and you have a lot of pain there, go see a chiropractor. But also, you can use a massage gun here too on those inner thighs. But please keep so you can have your leg out, like it needs to be relaxed. You can have your foot out this way, or if you want to let it um, rest on the foam roller, you can do that too. But we're going to start at the top of the knee and work toward the base of the hip. You just want your muscle to be relaxed. That's all. Good. Keep going. It's, well, oh man, we just move and we get tight. So, but let's keep moving because I know sometimes this doesn't feel great on your lower back. So keep moving. But when you find a knot, hang out there. Keep that muscle relaxed. Breathe through it. And hopefully you're getting close to the top of that inner thigh. So the reason why we start at the foot and work our way up on each leg is because we're trying to help push the blood back up to the heart. So it helps just with circulatory as well. Good. Okay, so we're just going to go to the base of that hip. Let's switch sides. Depending on if you need to go longer, that's totally fine. Just pause the video and hang out there. We're looking for knots. Oh my goodness. Please put in the chat, the comments below, if you're feeling a lot of knots like I am. Oh, it's so good. You're going to feel so much better when you're done with this. Your body will thank you. You know how you feel good after a massage? Yep, or most people do. Same thing. You're going to feel so good. Good, good, good. So hopefully you're about halfway up the leg on this inner thigh. And then we'll go to glutes after this. Okay, good. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, I went through that kind of fast. You can always pause and spend more time if you'd like. But because it can be uncomfortable on your lower back, that's why I rushed through it a little bit. If you want to lay down while you're in that position, you can. I just don't know how it feels on your lower back. So do what works for you. Okay, glutes. So we're going to start by sitting on the foam roller and lean back so that your arms catch your body weight. Okay, so then you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee, and you're going to twist onto that right glute. because we want to roll the leg, the glute of the leg that's crossed. So you'll start down towards like the bottom part of your glute. Feel for any knots that are there. And then just roll up. Now, here's what I want you to be aware of. If you feel shooting pain, you're on your sciatic nerve, don't roll, like shooting pain down the side of your leg, that's your sciatic. You don't want to roll on your sciatic nerve. But if you do have sciatic nerve problems or challenges like sciatica, this could help if, um, especially with this right here, your piriformis. It's a small little muscle inside your glute that, when activated, can cause that sciatic nerve to really hurt. So um, just be aware, see how it feels. So again, you're looking for knots, and if you want to twist, like you can go on your elbow if your wrists are hurting, but if you want to uh, twist your shoulders and go to like the outside of your hip as well, you can get some TFL, and this can help relieve lower back pain. So rolling all the way up, you don't want to roll past like the top of your pelvis, because then you're going to get into some organs and soft tissue, and we don't want to ever roll there. So let's just keep it in the bone and the muscle, and just roll through that whole thing. So if you find a tight spot, just hang out there. But again, you don't want to be on that sciatic. So if your knee or your leg is going numb, let's roll off that spot. Shooting, anything, roll off that spot, okay? Find a different spot to be on. But here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so you can pause the video, stay on that glute more. If not, let's go to the other one. Oh, so exciting. So sitting on that foam roller, lean back, and then we're going to cross left ankle over right knee, and then we're going to shift onto that left glute or that left hip. So start at the bottom of that glute, and then we're going to roll till you find something. And you'll probably find something. Oh boy, find lots of somethings. So just a reminder, no numbness down your leg, no shooting pain. It's like a deep tissue massage on your glutes. And you can go all the way up to the top of that glute. So into like the lower back, but still on the bone. And then you can also drop to your elbow and go to the outside of your hip and hang out there as well. So we're going to foam roll one more muscle group after this glute, and it's your quads. And oh boy, you're going to love that one because our quads do so much work for us. So we're going to hang out here for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay. If you need more time, pause the video, hang out there in that glute more. So let's go to your quads. We can foam roll hamstrings. It's just really hard to do that. Requires a lot of strength through your upper body because you're lifting your hips off the floor, and it's hard to keep your hamstrings relaxed. So we're not going to do a foam roll today. If you want foam roll, let me know. Okay. If you want to know how to foam roll your hamstrings, let me know. So we're going to start. You're going to be working a lot of core here. Top of the knee. You're completely relaxed. Those toes are just going to drag along the floor, as you slowly roll up your quad. So you can do, we're going to do double leg today. You can do single if you want, if there's a couple areas you really want to target. But we're going to do double leg today. So pull your belly button into your spine so that you don't have a saggy back. Protect your lower back, please. So it's like you're doing a little plank here. Really try to keep your spine in neutral alignment. And just roll up those quads, trying to find a knot. If you don't find anything here, don't worry. I'll show you where you can find a lot. Oh. So if you, again, please, the most important thing is keep your spine in neutral alignment. You do not want to have that lower back sag, because then you're going to cause some lower back pain, and we don't want that. So drive your, do a little push your lower back to the ceiling as you work your way to the bottom of your hip. Okay, so I'm going to show you, if you're like, nope, that felt good. Okay, awesome. Let's get a part that will appreciate the foam roll, even though it may not feel like it. All right, so you have a muscle right here, part one of your quads. So we're not on the side of your leg. We're just, it's the front of your leg, but it's to the outside of your leg. We're gonna foam roll that part right there, okay? So we're gonna start at the top of the knee on your elbows. You can use that, if you have the mobility, you can use your opposite leg to help give you some relief and help stabilize you. But we're just going to roll to the top of your hip on that muscle. Now, if this is too painful, what you can do, feel for knots there. What you can do, if that's too painful or your lower back is starting to get tired in your shoulders, go to a seated position, leg relaxed, and then you can use your upper body to put pressure and on the foam roller as you roll that same muscle. So you can, it's a little bit easier to hold this position and it's not as painful. Okay, so just looking for knots. When you find a knot, hold it there, hang out on it, because this can also affect lower back pain. So this will help a lot. Okay, let's go to that second leg, either from a seated position or a lying position. So we're just going to do the outside of that quad. We're not on the IT band. So some people say to do foam roll the IT band. You can if you want, which means that you're laying on the side of your leg. It's highly painful, and it's a ligament. It's like it's a tendon, and you're not supposed to foam roll tendons. So that's why I don't recommend that people do it. You can if you want. A lot of my friends do it, and they're like, oh, the relief in my lower back and my knee is so good. That's fine. It's up to you. But it is a tendon. So you're just going to go to the top of that hip or the base of the hip. Ooh, Nelly. That's good, huh? So here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So you can pause, hang out there longer if you want. I didn't want this to take forever because it's just lower body. Here's the deal. We've just tried to get rid of some of those knots. Now we need to try to get the muscle to go back to the length that it was originally created to be. So now we get to stretch those muscles, all right? What we're going to start with is an inner thigh stretch. So we're going to go to that V-sit, whatever is comfortable. So you don't want your stretches to be painful, but you do want to push the muscle a little bit, trying to stretch it back out to the length that it was supposed to be. Should feel good. Okay, let's come out of that. Butterfly. There we go. Good job, you survived foam rolling. So the upper body, there's a few foam rolling techniques you can use, but it's more for stretching. So I'll do a separate video for that, and it feels amazing. Oh, it feels so good. So we'll do a separate video for that. Okay, now we're going to go to a glute stretcher. Well, first let's push those feet forward and lean forward. So this can get deep, deep glute. Could be lower back, could be outer hip. Because we're trying to stretch all the muscles that we just foam rolled. We're going to go to a different glute. So we're going to stack your knees as much as you can. Okay. There are those yogis who have their knees perfectly stacked, and it's amazing. I'm not there yet, but we're working on it, right? So if this is a big glute stretch right here. Okay. If you don't feel anything, just lean forward. Did you guys ever play the game Uncle when you were kids, where you're holding some painful position and then you're like, Uncle, Uncle, tap out? Sometimes that's how I feel like some of these stretches are. I'm Uncle, Uncle, and I'm doing it to myself. Oh boy. Okay, good. Whew, we're gonna come out of that. Gotta go the other direction. Okay, if you don't feel it, just lean forward. Hopefully you have the mobility in your ankles to do this one. If if it's too painful to do these stretches, it's okay. Just wait a little bit, and there's gonna be more. So you'll find a stretch that'll work for you and be very effective. So I know sometimes ankles and hips don't allow for some of these stretches. Okay, good. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. So extend that left leg, cross your right leg over your left, twist to the right, sitting nice and tall. So this is either going to be back or it's going to be glute or on the right side, or it could be both. It just depending on where you're tight in your body. Feels so good to stretch though, huh? After all that foam rolling, your body's going to be all tingly and nice. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Extend your right leg, left over right, twist to the left, sitting nice and tall. We're going to get your quads next. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's go quads. It's going to be a little different. So if it hurts your knee, what the stretch I'm going to show you, you can always lay on your side and do the side lying quad stretch. Okay, this one is going to get a little bit different part of your quad. So bending your right knee behind you, you're going to go on your left elbow. So I don't want you to lay all the way down. That's too much pressure on your knee joint, okay? So you're going on your left elbow, and what you're going to do, push your hips up. So push your right hip to the ceiling, and then hold there. So you're getting a nice little hip flexor stretch on that right side. And then it could be some quad too, but hopefully it's hip flexor. And now we're going to bring your chest so it's facing the ceiling, driving your right knee into the floor. And you're going to get a huge stretch in that quadratus lumborum that we just stretch that outer quad, okay? So keeping those shoulders to the ceiling. So those two little stretches stretch differently. It could even be in your TFL. It could be some more hip flexor, depending on where you're tight. We're going to hang out here for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, cool. Come out of that. We're going to bend your left knee behind you, go on your right elbow. We're going to push the left hip to the ceiling, shoulders face the wall in front of you. Oh, so nice. Here's 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, good. Now we're going to bring your shoulders so they face the ceiling, driving your left knee into the floor. The more you try to push that knee in the floor, the bigger the stretch. Man, who knew that stretching was so magical? Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, we're going to come out of that. Let's do one more before we go to a standing position. So your hamstrings. Let's go lay on your back. Let's get a hamstring stretch. Laying above or below the knee, but not at the back of the knee. Slight bend in the knee if you need to. Rotate your ankle. Good. You're almost done. Awesome. And now let's switch legs. Hamstring stretch other leg. Slight bend in the knee if you need to. And rotate that ankle. Good. Again, if you want some tips on foam rolling hamstrings, let me know. And good. Okay. Use a leg to help you go to a seated position. We're going to go into a calf stretch. So we're going to do downward dog. If downward dog hurts your wrists, fast forward and I'll show you a standing calf stretch. But we're going to do downward dog. So push those heels into the floor. And what I want you to do, relax, bend your right knee, push your left heel into the floor to get an extra deep stretch in that left calf. 4, 3, 2. Now bend that left knee in. So your right knee is still bent. All the pressure is still in your left foot, but you're bending your left knee in, and that's going to move it into your soleus area. Good. Now we're going to switch. Bend that left knee. All the pressure is in your right foot. Straight leg to begin with. Pushing your heel into the floor. Now I want you to bend that right knee in. So you're getting a stretch in the lower part of that right calf. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, we'll slowly walk those feet to the hands and stand it up. Now, if you did your calf stretch there, you don't have to do this stretch. For those who couldn't do the downward dog and you fast forwarded to this part, what I want you to do is take a big step back, push your left heel into the floor, and should be a nice calf stretch. Both toes pointing forward, shoulders over hips. Okay, and now bend your back knee in. So that leg that was straight now is bent and it should move it to the bottom half. If you did the downward dog and you want to do this calf stretch too, totally fine. It won't hurt you to stretch those calves more. Okay, let's switch legs. So push that back heel into the floor. Straight leg to begin with. Good. And now bend that back knee in. You're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Okay, awesome. Do a little deep breath just because it feels good. And good job. Let me know how you like foam rolling. Hey, if you got value out of this video, please subscribe and also comment below what else you'd like to see, because this channel is for you to help you be better in your everyday life. Thanks for subscribing. Tell your friends about it, and we'll see you on the next video.